the meeting really quickly. First of all, thank you all for joining us. We are super excited. Many of you guys already know Jeff and have been in the community, but part of the cohort is not on this call. However, so you may see new faces in the other sessions. However, this cohort is closed. There will not be more. There will not be any more people added to this course. This is our group. In our next meeting, instead of doing a name and a share of what you do, we will be encouraging people to share what you are investing in. It could be investments in the market. It could be investments in yourself around wellness. Your investment could simply be coming onto this call and learning. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up for the next call. And also it's a way for us to inspire investment ideas by hearing what you all are doing in the markets. So that's the expectation for the next call. I hope you guys enjoyed this introduction, and I'm going to move it on over to Jeffrey to take us into our presentations for the day.
Yes, thank you so much, Raz, for playing host and being community manager, and great to see all of you again. I know there's a few new people as well, and very excited to get this group kicked off. So I'm just going to jump right into the presentations. First thing I want to do is just go through our welcome packet, and I will share this with everybody. We will, I could drop the link for this in Telegram, but I will also, Raz will also email this to the whole group. So let me just turn on presentation mode. Get a little video on the side. Cool video. So welcome cohort 1. So I know we had a few cohorts in the past, right? But this is the first time we have the actual structured program. So you guys are the first cohort of this structured program. So first and foremost, I have myself as the instructor, and then we have Raz as the community manager. So anything you need, you guys can reach out to Raz. It's a little welcome to the program. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I just want to show you guys what's involved in it, right? We have the curriculum. I know we have weeks 2 and 3 for introduction to economics and the business cycle, but we might have to just move those to different dates. I had a guest speaker, and he started doing classes on Saturdays. So I have to coordinate with him for what's a good Saturday that works to come and teach you guys. But it's that guy, George Dagnino. Some of you guys was on a call when there was a former multi-billion-dollar money manager came to come teach the group. He wants to come back and give you guys some knowledge again. So he's going to come and do 2 workshops for us, but those will be at later dates. So next week will be about primary investment strategies until we'll continue with the curriculum until we find out some dates for this guy. That's just a heads up. So yeah, the first part are all these things, right? Introduction to investing, primary investment strategies, how to research a company, financial statements, how to use a stock screener, other research tools and techniques, government, central banks, and the markets, and then the Thinkorswim platform. So with this 10 weeks of curriculum, right, you guys will be able to research an economy, research an industry, generate your own investment ideas, through the use of stock screeners and other tools. With the section around government, central banks, and the market, right? How do we turn geopolitical events or local political events into tangible investment or trade ideas, et cetera? And also, how do we follow central bank actions to know what direction the market is going to be going in, things like that. So I think you guys are going to be pretty well-rounded after this program. And then part 2, it's fundamental reviews. I think this is probably the most fun and engaging part. So we'll only be meeting 4 times for this one. So once every 2 weeks, and pretty much we're gonna pick a company or a crypto as a group. I'm opening this section up to cryptos. Everyone's gonna go back and research that company or crypto for that 2 weeks. Everyone can gather whatever data they can, whatever thoughts they can, and then we're gonna discuss it as a group and talk about is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Is it valuable, etc. And I think that's a good exercise, right? As you guys are learning, you kind of just need guided mentorship to you need guided mentorship, to really improve and hone your skills. And fundamental reviews allows for that, right? And 10 brains researching something is better than 1. Mike, I see you have your hand raised. You want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, appreciate it. Definitely didn't want to interject. But my question is, as far as the fundamental research, obviously, for some of us more experienced, for some of us not as experienced, are you starting us off with, I guess, core values of research? Basically, like everyone's research should include like these 5 things.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna have like some, like I said, that core values, and I want to say, regardless of your strategy, right, whether you're an options trader or an active trader or a future trader, whatever you're trading, right, you still need to know how to, what the state of the company's financials are. You still need to know, what is this company about? What are their lines of businesses? How profitable they have been? What are their operating margins, et cetera? What is the outlook for the company? So I think sometimes people think fundamental research is only for long-term investing, and people don't realize that fundamental research is really about just knowing what you own. So it's kind of like, universal. So good question. Mentoring, as you guys know, I have this Calendly link. You guys can, I'm trying to open it up. I guess I'm in presentation mode. It's not letting me open it. Let me just download this. I can click it. Bear with me. Yep, so you can come here, you can click this link, and pretty much you can just come and grab time on my calendar. Maybe you should block out some dates for the holidays. But you can just come here, grab time on my calendar for a 1-hour session to talk about the market, your trading, or anything that you're researching. So I think obviously curriculum is good, but I think the hands-on one-to-one mentoring is also part of the secret sauce to really cultivating you guys. So, feel free to book time with me. We're also going to have a shared folder. I maybe just need to just make some updates in here, but we're going to be sharing books, resources, research, whatever materials people want to share. You can find it in this cohort folder. I just want to make some updates to that before I share it out with you guys. And then, to stay connected, we have a Telegram group. We also have a Telegram channel, which is just to blast out information. Most of you guys are in the Telegram group already. You can follow us on Instagram, and you can subscribe to our YouTube. All recordings are going to be posted on YouTube, so you guys can share. You can rewatch and also share with family, friends, etc. Yes, and as Raz just dropped in the chat, you will get an email with all resources. And then lastly, sponsoring your community, right? Of course, this is completely free, but as you guys see, I am hiring staff and we need more mentors. And my goal is to be able to serve 100,000 people. So I'm not charging anything, but if you would like to donate, we ask for a suggested donation of $100 a month. Other programs might charge you $10,000, $20,000 to do what we're doing. And I'm talking about like an in-depth fundamental research program. So collectively, people just donating $100 a month is relatively cheap to what's out there. And so, of course, you can donate whatever you can afford. There is no mandate. And I created this model so that the people who can afford can support the community, and the people who can't afford, they can still get involved and learn. And there's no barrier, right? Typically, only wealthy people or rich people or people with networks of people in the hedge fund or investment space could ever get access to this knowledge at the caliber that I'm teaching you guys. So, I went with this model just so that it can be accessible to everybody, right? Everyone should be able to invest like a professional money manager. And I want to add that we are not a nonprofit, and your donations do count as revenues for us, and we are going to be taxed. These are all like business accounts: PayPal business account, Cash App business account, Venmo account, Zelle business account, etc. Except for entrepreneurs, I don't think there's any tax benefits associated with donating. But with that being said, I encourage everybody to start an LLC or an S corp just because, right? You can write things off and beat on taxes. So just want to reiterate that we are not a nonprofit. Your donations do count as revenues for us, and we do pay taxes on your donations. And here's the team: myself, this is Raz, and this is Lamine. Levine got a lot of swag. And so that's just the welcome packet. And I'll drop the link in the Telegram now for this, but Raz will also be emailing. Raz will also be emailing this to the whole group. So let me just drop this in Telegram, and then we can get into the real discussion. Perfect. I know last time we didn't have presentations and stuff like that, so we stepped the game up. So now, week 1, intro to the stock market. Is this the right one? Somebody is unmuted. I want to go to the downloaded version of this because I don't like the all the effects. Just bear with me for 1 second, guys.
I was gonna say, I feel like if you go to all your designs, it'll show the last thing you worked on.
Yeah. I'll just open up the downloaded one. Oh, I guess I never downloaded it. I guess we may just have to deal with these effects. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Where did this thing go? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to download it real quick. So this week, we just have an introduction to the stock market. This might be something that's a little redundant for some of you guys, but I just want to have everybody on the same page. Perfect. All right, so the agenda for this is now, what is the stock market? What are the market dynamics? What's the foundations for success as an investor or a trader? And what is investment research and why is it important? Right, so the stock market is a place where you can buy and sell companies, but you can also buy currencies, commodities, invest in other countries, etc. We usually think only about companies, but the stock market allows us to engage with all types of assets. Ultimately, the stock market is a metaphorical place where you can generate wealth if you play the game properly. Successful investors are able to consistently develop and execute on investing ideas, right? Meaning that to be successful, you need to create some sort of investment process that you can constantly repeat to generate profits in the market. And that's really just, it's very simple, but that's really the secret sauce to making money. So first thing is, what are the dynamics to the market, right? People don't realize this, but you can make money when the market goes up. You can make money when the market goes down, and you can make money when the market goes sideways, right? So when you hear terms like going long a stock, that means buying a stock that is, you're betting for a stock to go higher in price. When you're shorting a stock, you're betting for a stock to go down in price, and that's how you profit. And then there's various option strategies that are like, if a stock just stays within a given range or a different, given price points, those options could be profitable. So I think it's important to understand this dynamic to the market because the market is designed to be flexible. So we should also be flexible in our thinking and approach. And I think the key is to be able to accurately dictate what direction a stock should be moving in and why. So yeah, these are just another example again, right? About, when the market is going up, you want to go long. If you think that something's going to make the market go down, or a company or a commodity or currency go down, you want to short it. And then, when something is going sideways, you could do some sort of options trades that allows you to profit from the stock not really moving in any direction. So now foundations for success, right? I believe that mastering trading and investing is really a journey of self-mastery. First and foremost, it's a mental sport. Secondly, self-development and improvement is key. To be successful, you need to constantly be reviewing what investments you made, why you made them, why they worked, why they didn't work. If they didn't work, what information did you miss? What things did you miss that you said that allowed you to get into this trade and make a wrong decision? Sometimes you do everything right and the market is just working against you, right? But I think the important thing is to constantly be self-assessing and in an honest, unbiased way. And also, getting feedback from mentors, right? Like, you guys could come to me and review trades and stuff like that. And as we start to build out a mentor network, when we get some bit of a funding for that, right? Through you guys' donations, we could pay other people to mentor. You guys could just get more hands on deck to help with that, right? So I want to say top traders and investors have the following attributes, and I want to use the words trading and investing interchangeably, right? An investor, there's no difference between an investor and a trader. The only difference is just the time frame, right? And a trader might just be trading for a couple minutes, a couple hours, a couple weeks. That is the time horizon of their investment. And an investor, right? Their time horizon is just years and months and decades. So it's not really anything different. The only difference is just the time horizon. And then the other difference is what makes you get into the stock and what makes you get out. So with that being said, whether you're an investor or a trader, what are the following attributes, right, to be successful? Supreme discipline. You want to stay disciplined within your strategy. You want to stay disciplined with how you handle losses and manage risk. You do not want to chase trades, right? Chasing trades is something like you see in the news, stock XYZ is up 30%. It's going crazy. And then you see people buying at the high. Let me see if I can pull up a chart for you guys to show you guys like a nice concrete example of chasing a trade. CRTD, yes, they have this. So there's this stock, right? In one day, it kind of went from this $270 to almost $10. I actually was in this and I was able to get out at like $9.80. But I owned the stock from like way back when, from before here, like somewhere around here is when I owned the stock. And I didn't get out in this pop. But that's not here or there, right? But someone chasing the trade might see the stock at like $7 and say, oh man, the stock has been running, let me buy it, and you go and buy it and then it's just been doing nothing but going down, so you don't ever want to chase trades. If something explodes and you didn't get in it, like, don't get in it. Unless you're experienced and you know how to manage your risk and you know how to like manage quick trades, that's different, but I feel like people here are not that experienced, so just don't chase trades. You're gonna just blow up money, burn money doing that. Secondly, only executing on high probability opportunities for you. As you are beginning to trade and invest, you will start to get a feel for what kind of opportunities and what kind of situations make sense for you, right? For myself as an active trader, things like what's the word I'm looking for? Trading, and we'll get into that in later chapters. Later sessions, but like things like trading consolidations or reversals and things like that. I do well as an active trader. And then as a fundamental longer term investor, I do really well with like, being a thematic investor. So saying like, hey, electric vehicles is going to be a trend for the next 30 years. Who are the best producers in that space? Specifically, I like infrastructure companies, right? So I don't necessarily want to buy like Tesla or Lucid. Maybe Tesla isn't a good example because Tesla does a lot of their own infrastructure and parts. But I want to say like, who's making the parts for electric vehicles? Who's making the technology for the electric vehicles? Who's creating the software to make the vehicles autonomous, right? You're going to have all these people producing electric vehicles. And that's kind of a game of just like, we'll see who's going to be the winner. But the infrastructure companies are ultimately going to be the winner, right? Because to develop these cars, they have to buy these materials, right? So whether the car companies are successful or not on an individual basis doesn't matter because the infrastructure companies are going to be the winners. So, that's just me. Another thing is self-awareness. That's important for success as a trader. Being aware of what you do well as a trader, being aware of when you are moving away from your rules. So you definitely want to have some rules as a trader or investor, for when you're getting in, an exit plan. If things go left, what is your risk threshold? You should always have stops or an area where you say like, hey, if the stock drops down to this point, I'm out of it. I'm a big believer in cutting your losses early and, just reallocating that capital into another winning trade. I want to also say greed and fear drive us subconsciously. So be aware when you're being fearful or when you're being greedy. Also be aware of your emotions. Do not get too down on bad days and don't get too high on good days. You want to stay centered. I did this professionally at a hedge fund, and I used to get caught up in that. And a lot of the other traders on the desk, at least the novice traders on the desk, used to get very caught up in that. And it really takes you on an emotional roller coaster. So, if you have a great day, cool. It doesn't matter. If you had a bad day, cool. It doesn't matter. If you had a good day, start getting ready for the next day and putting together some good ideas. If you had a bad day, reassess what went wrong, let it go, and just, make another good trade or another good investment. Another foundation for success is consistency. I know a lot of people are always posting their winning trades and stuff like that, but I'm a big believer in, are you net positive? And then secondly, can you consistently put together a winning trade after winning trade after winning trade? If you're hitting like 70% or 60%, you can be, trading can be extremely lucrative for you. If you're only correct 20% of the time, like that's not good, and you got to find a way to be more consistent. And I find that on some level, once you learn the basics, right, we can all put together good ideas, right? But it's more about, how do I stay away from the mediocre ideas? How do I stay away from the ideas that I didn't research but I'm following the crowd? How do I stay away from chasing hype stocks and things like that? And I feel like once you cut out those things and you can just really stick to what you do well, you'll find yourself being able to be consistent. Successful traders manage their emotions well. I know I just said that bit before. And then also, you have to just enjoy research and have a passion for learning. If you really don't enjoy research and learning about these companies and seeing how they're making money and how they're tackling markets, or even on the technical analysis side, if you don't really enjoy charting and going through charts and stuff like that, then this probably isn't going to be for you. I mean, I feel like everyone in this group is kind of past that, but I just want to put that out there, right? Successful traders love doing research. They love learning about companies. And if that stuff finds you boring, or you find that kind of work labor intensive, I don't know if this is going to be, if you're going to be successful. So just reiterating, right? Trading and investing is a journey of self-mastery and a mental sport in which self-development and improvement is key. I want to recommend that you guys check out the Daily Trading Coach by Dr. Steenbarger. This guy is the psychologist to, some of the top hedge fund traders and managers in the world. When I worked at the hedge fund, I was fortunate to get a few sessions with him, and he's, great psychologist. And that actually goes to show you, right? People who are multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires are investing top dollar in developing their mind and developing their mind, developing their psychology and things like that, right? And we may not be millionaires and billionaires, right? But that's something that we can all do. And if they're doing it, I highly recommend that you guys do it as well. So we made a little graph over here. I think Raz did this. Thank you. Right. And so, you want to be self-aware, you want to be consistent, you want to be a passionate learner, you got to be disciplined, and you got to be emotionally stable. All right. Investment research. So what is investment research? Success in all trading or investing begins with investment research. Investment research is the detailed study of an investment opportunity, its risk factors, and drivers. If you cannot properly investigate an investment opportunity, you should not make the investment. All successful money managers and investment professionals know how to properly research opportunities. Top-tier investors and traders are able to build portfolios of the highest quality companies, right? And that's where you want to be. It's not about having one good trade where, you made 300% or something in options in a couple days, whatever. It's more about, hey, can I go and research 500 companies to find 30 cream of the crop companies that fit within an investment thesis, and then just let that portfolio ride out, So to be able to put together a portfolio, you got to be able to put together a successful portfolio that makes money for you passively, right? Where the stocks are just going up and giving you dividends or whatever the case might be. You got to be able to research well. Right? And researching is about absorbing information and analyzing it. You need to be able to think independently about opportunities and come to your own conclusions about an investment opportunity. And I feel like that is hard to teach, but that's why mentorship and the fundamental reviews are really going to help you guys, right? Because you guys maybe don't have context about the market and how the market works. So just having somebody work with you and coach you through it and how you should be thinking about it's going to help you learn faster, right? And this will put into context. I'm a person with literally almost like 15 years experience of learning and studying and mastering the craft, and even almost 10 years of real world professional experience, So what I've learned over the last 15 years, you guys can learn in a matter of hours and weeks, right? It doesn't have to take you guys 15 years to learn. Unless you go through brute force like I did. I had no one to teach me. I'm self-taught. I used to read like a book a week at one point in life on this stuff. And obviously I worked in the field, and I'm a published investment researcher and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's really about, getting information and analyzing the information properly. So what does investment research look like, right? You want to use tools like stock screeners to generate ideas. You want to read investment news websites, Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Financial Times. And then you're doing a lot of like reading annual and quarterly reports. You're reading industry outlooks. You're maybe reading things about the economy, things like that. And your goal should be to create a research process that consistently generates profitable ideas for your investment strategy. Now, getting to that place takes time, and that's the reason why we're all here. But that's where I want everybody in this group to be, right? And that process can be different, right? And I think finding your process is about what works best for you, right? Hey, if you want to make fast cash and you think you can do the day trading thing and you can manage your emotions well, then that's fine, right? There's some people who they're working a full-time job, or they really want their money to just grow independent of them doing additional work. So you guys got to find what works best for you, what works best for your lifestyle, and what works best for your comfort zone in terms of risk. Some people don't realize they are extremely risk averse, very scared of ups and downs, but then want 200, 300% gains. If you're not willing to take risks, don't expect high rewards. If you find yourself to be a little more conservative, there's nothing wrong with having conservative returns. And I think, once again, the real goal is to have stocks that trend and can make money for you passively. When you're doing the day trading thing and the active trading thing, people don't realize that you literally gave yourself another job, right? So if you want another job, that's fine. Or if you want to replace your job with that, that's also fine. But if you really want passive investing where all you have to do is just look at your portfolio every day, see that you're making a little more money every day, then you kind of just want to play the long-term game and be a little more conservative. Okay, I think this is the same slide twice. Didn't realize that. So I would say that's it for this session. I know this was a little bit of an something just introductory, and just for you guys to get a little basis of what the focus is going to be for the curriculum going forward, right? And it's really going to be about honing your investment research skills. And what we're going to expose you to is various investment strategies, different investment approaches, different methodologies for research, and and then we're going to be working together, right, on analyzing and understanding investments. So with that being said, does anyone have any questions or thoughts? I know this is this was super entry level, but I just want everyone to be on the same page and thinking and having the right mindset as we're going through this program.
I guess I'll go. So I guess just feedback in general, I think you did a great job. It was definitely informative. I think you provided a good layer of expectation, right, about what we're about to embark on. But I guess I am curious regarding like Thinkorswim platform. I know you have to, go through registration and everything like that. So would you recommend, and maybe this is a rhetorical question, and that for any of like the stock screeners and other applications like that, that people kind of set those platforms up maybe this week, next week for homework? This way, when we jump into it, people can kind of follow along in real time.
That's a good question. And I would say, if you feel comfortable with that, absolutely. We are going to have a few sessions that specifically go through research tools. We're going to have a session where I go through the Thinkorswim platform. So I'll show you a research tool, and I feel like people doing it on their own, this stuff can feel a little intimidating. So let's just go. FinViz is my favorite thing to go to, as a lot of people know here, right? So you'll come here, you'll go to the screener, and you're going to see all these things, right? And I feel like, hey, if you know how to put together an investment thesis for what kind of companies you're looking for, like, for example, let's say you want to look for high growth companies in tech, right? You just come here, click technology. I like technology infrastructure. So let's say semiconductors, equipment, and materials. And then let's say who has been growing at a rate of higher than 25% in sales quarter over quarter, right? So that's high growth technology company. And let's go look at the charts. I think let's go through it one by one, So if you feel comfortable like coming up with your own thesis for what you're looking for, and then you could come here and play around with these things, then yeah, by all means, like, get into it. But I do have sessions that's specifically going to be about teaching you guys how to think through, like, putting together like an investment thesis and translating that into a stock screener to generate ideas. And then also like a variety of other tools beyond just like this stock screener and Thinkorswim.
Can I also add, Jeff?
Absolutely.
To the answer, Mike. That's an awesome question. And as I said in the beginning, you haven't gotten that this week, but every week you will get materials before the course so that you can know what's coming up and you can do your own research. And if you are delving into the topic so deeply that there are things you want to bring into the space, we are absolutely encouraging that. So if you go ahead and you find things that are outside of what we've already provided, we think that's awesome, and we encourage you to share. Like I said, this is a network effort. This is a community effort.
Yep. Does that answer your question, Mike?
Yeah, I figured let me just start being engaging early. So yeah.
I appreciate you. You're a king for that. Mariah, yes, good question. Mariah asked, besides the stock screener, are there any other tools that you recommend we look into? Stock screener is great. I like to use tradingeconomics.com to do economic research. But some of you guys know I'm a little bit of an economist, and I do global macro trading. When we talk about primary investment strategies next week, I'll get into global macro trading. But you can kind of come here. Let's see, countries, United States, and you can kind of just see like, all the economic indicators, right? So you can have a better idea of what sectors to focus on. Let's maybe just put together a quick example for you, right? So let's say I wanted to invest in the retail space, right? We know that the success of retail companies are based on the health of consumers and meeting their financial health, right? So I'll come here and say, what does consumer confidence look like? Oh, that's going down. That's not good. What is personal savings looking like? That's going down. That's not good. What's personal income looking like? It's gone down from its peaks. These huge peaks are from stimulus, so that's not good either. Personal spending, I guess that's down from the peak, but kind of like flattening out. So I'll come here and like look at things like that, and you can look at retail sales. So that's one thing, trading economics. What other tools do I use? I mean, if I have an investment thesis, let's say I want to invest in solar energy, I'll go to industry associations, right? So seia.org, I believe it's called. So the Solar Energy Industry Association, and I'll come here and this may not be like a stock screening tool, right? But this is still a way of doing research. I gotta see how where they have their data. So you can come here and get like industry data that gives you an idea of how fast the industry is going to be growing, what sectors are going to be good. Some of you guys know I was investing in solar, right? And I specifically invest in utility scale solar, right? And coming here and doing this research helped me figure out that this is probably the best place in the short term and the long term to invest for solar, because before people are getting into their homes, right? The government is allocating money to build like 5 acres of land of like solar panels and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother conversation. But just to answer your question, Mariah, yeah, there's a myriad of tools, and these are some things that I use: trading economics, FinViz, and then I will go to industry associations to do more research and get more data about a particular topic. Anyone else have any questions?
Regarding your tools, obviously there's, like you said, there's a myriad of tools that's available out there, but do you have a preference of free tools versus like tools that are hidden behind paywalls, meaning a monthly subscription fee, etc.?
That's a great question, and I think it depends on what your investment strategy is. So since I am more of a I don't want to say, all right, so a lot of the tools that you pay for is literally people doing research for you and packaging it up for you, right? Or it's somebody telling you data that you can't get access to. So since I'm a professional researcher, I really don't need to pay for anything because I can do all my own research, right? But let's say like you have an investment strategy where you want to follow the buying and selling of like what insiders are doing, meaning hedge funders or the executives of a company, that might be data you have to pay for because that data is like kind of harsh. I mean, it's like sparse and hard to find, and it's like kind of all over the place. And you might pay somebody a fee to get that data. So if that kind of data will improve your trading or make your research process a lot easier, then absolutely pay for it. For myself personally, I don't pay for anything because I just feel like those kind of data points don't really improve my trading. And I'm just using a lot of economic data. I'm using industry data, which is all free and publicly available. And then based on a particular theme like solar energy or electric vehicles, I will just go through all the companies or a lot of the top companies in that space and just isolate the best. So that's my process, so my process doesn't need that. But yeah, if there's good paid stuff that you feel like either helps you save time and effort or can help supercharge your returns, then absolutely pay for it. But there's a lot of things that are going to charge you money that it's just like, you don't need to pay for that, right? And also these tools are expensive. For example, just going back to trading economics, just to access the website and mess around with the data is free. But if you want to have the paid tier where you can export the data, you got to pay like $500 a month. That's not cheap. So exporting the data makes your life easier, but do you need to do that? I don't know. So yeah, I think you just gotta see what is of value to you and does it help improve your returns.
And guys, if you haven't seen already, see here in the chat some of the links that Jeff just mentioned. You can follow them here and we'll try to include them in the post email.
Yep. Thanks for the questions, Mike. I just want to pull up next week's agenda so you guys can just get an idea of what's to come. While I'm pulling that up, does anyone else have any questions?
Hey, Jeff, just to add to that, I was going to say people who use E-Trade or Fidelity, they have really good analyst reports on there. So that's also a good resource. They give you, the projected price, and they kind of do all the research for you as well. So those are also good tools.
Yes, no, that's true. Yes, the different brokers give great research tools, and you can go and make accounts on all of them. And then also low key, Some of them have different benefits. Like I know Charles Schwab and I think TD Ameritrade, if you have an account with them and they give you a debit card, if you use a debit card at an ATM, they actually reimburse you for ATM fees. So I know people who literally open an account, deposit money in there, so when they're traveling internationally, they pay no fees on ATM withdrawals. You know, so there's sometimes other benefits to making accounts with these other institutions beyond just their research tools. But I think every platform has its own set of tools that are valuable that you really can't get anywhere else. So that was a good ad, Jolanda. Okay, cool. So I don't think we have too many questions. So for next week, okay, that's just Raz dropping stuff in the chat. For next week, we are going to cover primary investment strategies. So I'm going to talk about what is value investing, what is growth investing, what is technical trading, and what is global macro trading. Going to give you guys some examples of each and how to be successful in each domain, right? And it's not about, sometimes people are looking for like, hey, what's better, value or growth, or what's better, long-term investing or active trading, where it's really about what's best for you. So next week, we're going to give you guys a full breakdown of each. And we're going to give you a breakdown of each, and that'll help you figure out what's best for you and your style and your comfort zone. So thank you everybody for taking some time to join us this Saturday, and I look forward to meeting with you all next week. Raz will be emailing you guys the cohort link. Not the cohort link, the welcome deck that I went through at the beginning, with all the resources and stuff like that. And then you guys will have my Calendly link. So if you guys want to start booking time with me, like, feel free to get on my calendar. And with that being said, have a great weekend, and looking forward to doing this again next week.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for your participation.
Thanks.
Yep. Have a great one, guys.